The hardest game is to win a won game by Adolf Albin. Hello, welcome back to the channel. Tonight I'm giving you a game played between I.M Aikhoje Odion, Nigeria's #1, and Bilel Bellahcene, Algeria's #1. It was played on 14th March 2024 on chess.com. The link of the game is in the comment section. This game has a lot of fireworks. So I.M Aikhoje is a Nigerian chess international master IM and the chess Olympiad individual gold medal winner in Elisa, Russia in 1998. Aikhoje never received his 1998 chess Olympiad gold medal due to various bureaucratic complications. 10 years later, at the 2008 chess Olympiad in Dresden, Germany, he was awarded a special prize in honor of the gold medal he once won. Then finally, he received his medal in 2022. Here are some moments with his medal and the real medal in the photos. While Bilel Bellahcene is an Algerian chess player who holds the title of Grandmaster, born in Strasbourg, France, he changed his federation from France to Algeria in July 2018. He's the top-ranked player in Algeria with a FIDE rating of 2531. He won the 2019 FIDE Zono 4.1 championship with a perfect score of 9 out of 9 to qualify for the Chess World Cup in 2019. In the first round, he came close to upsetting Hikaru Nakamura, holding the much higher-rated player to 2 draws in the classical games before losing in the tiebreaks. In the white pieces is I.M Aikhoje, who opened the game with e4, and the GM played c5, the Sicilian defense, knight f3, knight c6, and after d4, the open Sicilian, c takes d4, knight takes d4. In this position, the GM played e5, and after knight b5, trying to support the knight to play knight check on d6. That's why black plays d6, stopping that check. So in this position, I.M Aikhoje Odion played knight c3. But however, the interesting engine move, which is c4. And after s6, knight c3, knight f6, bishop e2, developing the pieces, bishop e6, short castling, g6, bishop g5, attacking the knight, knight d4, bishop drops back on e3, queen b6, and attacking the pawn which is on b2, b3, and after queen a5, bishop d3, trying to bring the knight back on e2, bishop g7, knight e2, knight d7, knight c3. You can see that at least white has a huge advantage in the position, and you see that black has some weaknesses which can be attacked in the future. Moves like queen coming to d7, rook coming either to c1 or rook coming to d1. All those are potential moves in the position. You see that at least white has a slight advantage in the position. But however, after d6, the IM played knight c3. And in this position, black played a6. But however, if black goes ahead to play knight f6, there is an interesting knight d5. And in case black goes ahead to take the sacrificed pawn, for example, knight takes e4, then there is checkmate in 6. That is knight check, and after king d7, queen d4 check, f5, queen takes f5, checkmate. Let's go back. That's why after knight c3, it is very advisable to go ahead and play a6. It looks a simple move, but it is very powerful. And after knight a3, b5, threaten to come and pin the knights. Then knight d5. And in this position, the line goes ahead to be played with knight coming to f6. And in case of bishop pinning, then bishop e7. But however, the GM played knight g e7, which is an interesting move. And after bishop d3, knight takes d5, e takes d5, knight e7, attacking the pawn which is on d5. So I am played c4. In case of pawn takes c4, then knight can take the pawn on c4. If knight takes pawn, then bishop can pin the knight against the rook. And in case of any bishop coming in, then the queen can still come in, checking the king, and also the knight which is on c4 can go ahead to check the pawn which is on d6 after black blocking the check. That's why in the position, the GM played g6, and after c takes b5. In this position, the pawn which is on d5 is untouchable. For example, if knight takes d5, then bishop e4, and the rest can be history. Because now you see the queen and the bishop are attacking knight which is on d5, and also the rook which is on a8 is also in deep problems. That's why after c takes b5, the GM just continued developing the pieces and played bishop e7, short castling, and after rook e1, he played f5. And in this position, IM played pawn takes a6. If knight takes d5, then bishop comes to c4, pinning the knight against the king, and also the queen attacking the knight which is on d5. If in case of bishop e6, bishop takes knight, bishop takes d5, queen takes d5, and I can tell you, white is winning the game. That's why after pawn takes a6, the GM played king h8, moving away. That's why in this position, IM played bishop c4. And after f4, trying to create more squares where the knight, either the bishop, can come in and sit and then create some havoc. Knight. And after bishop takes a6, pawn comes to f4, knight f5. You see that now, black is trying to put the knight on this juicy d4 square. Rook a3, trying to swing the rook all the way to the h file to attack the king. Because now you said this is the diagonal of the bishop, and also the king can be in deep havoc when the rook sits on h3. Rook c8, attacking the bishop, which is on c4. Bishop d3, rook c5, attacking the pawn, which is on d5. IM played bishop e2. So pawn coming to e4 should have been considered, but however, the GM played queen d5, threatening to go ahead and push the pawn on f3, but for the meantime it's possible because the bishop is watching the queen, which is on g5. And after knight c3, moving away from the pin, bishop takes e2, queen takes e2, knight d4, attacking the queen, the best move in the position. He played queen d3, and after queen h4, moving away from the pin of the bishop, and planning to go ahead and push the pawn on f3, IM played knight e4, attacking the rook, which is on c5. In case black goes ahead and plays rook takes d5, is a pure blunder because queen c4, attacking the rook a5, knight takes d6. You can see that the next move is going to be pawn coming to b4. White is winning the game. Let's go back. That's why after knight e4, attacking the rook, the GM tried rook c8, and after knight takes d6, he came in with the rook and played rook c2. Now you said rook c2 is attacking the pawn which is on f2 and the queen. That's why bishop d2, blocking the attack. The GM missed chances of drawing the game, and he played queen going back to d8. But however, if the GM would play f3, trying to open up the position, in case white goes ahead and plays g3, then queen comes to h3, threatening checkmate in 1. Queen comes to f1, then queen takes, and after then rook takes the bishop on d2, and I can tell you that black is up a full piece. But however, after f3, white has to knight e4, defending the pawn which is on f2, and after queen d4, threatening checkmate in 1, knight g3, defending the king, f takes g2, threatening to play knight check on f2, winning the rook and winning either the rook or the bishop on d2. Because remember, after knight check, then the bishop and the rook are in deep havoc. And also rook sacks can be seen in the position. In this position, there is a potential rook sack, and then knight comes in to check and then win the queen, which is on d2. That's why king has to take the pawn. After queen h4, h3, bishop h6, trying to open up so that if bishop takes, then the rook can still come in, supported by the rook, which is on c2. That's why white has tried rook d1, queen f6, threatening to come and take the pawn, which is on f2, knight e4, defending the pawn, and after queen h4, trying to open up and attack the queen, and also opening up all the potential attacking sequences. Knight g3, queen f6, knight e4, queen h4, knight e3, and this would be a draw. After bishop d2, the GM played queen d8, knight b5, trying to exchange the knight, which is on d4, and also trying to ask a question what the rook is doing. Black would try rook c5, which would at least would give him some playable variations. But however, the GM played rook takes b2, and in this position, the IM unleashed all the tactical advantages he had in the position. He played bishop c3, attacking the rook at the same time attacking the knight, which is on d4. Rook comes to b3, then rook takes b3, knight takes b3. IM played bishop b4, attacking the rook, which is on c8, at the same time attacking the knight, which is on b3, knight d4, and after bishop takes rook, queen takes bishop, knight takes d4, e takes d4, then queen b5, trying to come and pin the queen against the king and then win the game on the spot. Queen a3, moving away from the pin, queen b8 check, bishop f8. The IM came and played queen takes f4, but however, a more interesting line would begin with d6, and after queen takes d6, queen takes d6, bishop takes d6, a5 would be winning the game on the spot. IM played queen takes f4 and attacking the bishop, which is on f8, so black can't have time to take the pawn on f4. That's why queen b4, attacking the rook, which is on a1, queen e5 check, and after bishop g7, queen e8 check, bishop f8, rook d1, attacking the pawn, which is on e4, and moving away from the attack of the queen. d3, and in the position, IM played queen e3, attacking the pawn, which is on d3, and black has no clear compensation because in the future the pawn d6, and black will have no way of stopping the pawn. So in this position, the GM resigned the game and IM became victorious. Thank you so much, and I wish you the best of luck in your games.